You can see there are many houses here, and also we have lifted the whole spirit of this village and completely a new look. And this village has become a demonstration village for poverty alleviation. So today we will bring you to the Shibadong village, and today we have a special guest with us. So she is the director of the Women's Association in this village. So Miss Wu will take us for a visit for the Shibadong village to better understand the history and the development of this Shibadong village. Hello, I'm the Women's Director in Shibadong village. So today we will get to know more about the history of Shibadong village. So we will follow the path that has been wrote by General Secretary Xi. And you can see we have changed the road and the layout of the road. And previously it is just a mud road. It's very difficult to walk on. It is literally a mud road. And you can see we have changed completely for the village. And also we have changed the design and also some decoration of the houses here. So can you give us some more introduction about the Shibadong village? So let's take a look at this one. Now you can see there are many visitors here today. So this is the Mrs. Shi from this village. So I can realize there are many tourists here to visit your house. I think she understands Mandarin, but in the past it's very difficult for her to understand Mandarin. How is everything going? So she just told us that many people from her household actually went business travel recently, and they just went back to home. And sometimes they put on some performance in other places. Now they have becoming like a celebrity here in the village. And the life is much better here. As I can tell, there's a big smile on Mrs. Shi's face. Thank you for your introduction. We will get to see more about Shibadong village. As you can see, this grandma is very happy and she's very satisfied with her life here. Maybe let's take a visit to other places here. Currently, many migrant workers had returned to their hometown, and you can see the spirit has been lifted for all of the people living here. So this group of people, they're singing a traditional song for Miao minority village. They're actually singing out of what they're thinking.
In the
past, we did hear some of the songs from Miao minority village. I could not understand the language. Can you give us some description about this song? So the basic idea about the song is talk about the changes of the Shibadong village, and also they want to show a warm hospitality for all of the visitors here. Yes, and we do see a big changes in this village, and they have been lifted out of poverty. So you can see the lady in the middle, she sings very well. Probably she is the lead singer for this team. Actually, we are well known for our impoverished living. However, since the reform and opening up, especially after the 18th CPC National Congress, we do see some changes for the village. And people are getting better lives, they build up their own fortune, and we can see they're very happy about it. So this gentleman here, actually, he is the leader of the artistic group. Thank you for your song. And this one, I see a big swing. So what is it? So you know there is a tradition here calling that we are chasing for the autumn. So this one is a very famous entertainment device here. It is an 8-person swing. So 8 people will take on the swing. However, for people who take on the swing, they have to sing a song. If they don't sing a song, we will not allow them to get off the wing. So it's a very traditional event for the Miao people living here. I do see a complete new look for the Shibadong village. And also we can see the paved road and the houses. These are quite different from before. In the past, I do see some pictures. There are a lot of shanty houses here, but now I see these houses are completely different. And in these days, we run the farmhouses, the guest house, and also we have some banks here. So people can earn a living here inside of the village. In the past, younger generation, they don't want to stay in the village. They went out as a migrant workers. So how many guest houses we have in this village? In this region, we have at least 9 farmhouses here. So what about the income and what is the business for these farmhouses? Well, we have so many visitors here every day. For example, today, we see more people here than yesterday. So this one is also like a very famous internet store, and let's take a look for this one. This is a happiness farmhouse. And you can see they have been given an award like the top 10 guest house. Hello, Mr. Yang. I realize this is a specialized drum here. So what is the difference for this Miao drum compared to the conventional drums? So I'm one of the minority here, and we play this drum, and we also beat this drum, and using a specialized rhythm, we call it a harvest drum. Maybe I can do a demonstration. So I will try this. Please enjoy. So when we are beating in this way, meaning that we are actually spreading seeds in the field. So we will use different gestures to show the meaning of the drum beat. In the past, we don't have cattle to do the farming, so people have to use their own feet to step on the mud. for outsider, probably they don't understand what does that mean. So actually, for the whole performance, it demonstrates the procedures from spreading out the seeds up to the harvest time. Very vivid demonstration. Thank you for your performance. I realize we need 2 people to play the drum. So any differences in your performance? We have to follow different pace and rhythm. So we have to demonstrate the different activities in our work. For example, sometimes you have to do the performance as you spread out the seeds, and some people have to demonstrate how to harvest. I understand in the past when you work as the migrant worker, you don't have the chance to do it, but now you have returned to your countryside, so you must be very thrilled to do this performance a lot. I also heard that you are the leader of the artistic group of the village, so you must be very talented. Don't be modest, thank you. And also I realized that your guest house is one of the top 10 guest house in the region. Maybe you can give us more information about your guest house here. So we founded this guest house in 2016 on January the 18th. I remember this correctly. I do see there are many visitors coming here. I start up this business, and also I help other villages to open their own business. And we're quite well right now. And for each day, we have around like 20 to 30 people visiting us. So now what we're doing is the smoke preserved meat. Can you give us some brief introduction about the process to make such smoke preserved meat? We have to do it in winter. There are many special techniques to make this smoked pork, and we also have to control the temperature of the fire. So for this kind of wood, it's quite specialized. It is only we can get this kind of material locally. So we have to make the smoke preserved pork, and we have to pay attention to the color of the meat. For example, this one with the golden color, meaning that it is ready. I think this kind of preserved meat is quite different from our like Han minority group. So you don't have to dry it. No need. You just put all of the pork inside of the house, hanging above the fire. So in the end, you can get all of the color becoming gold, meaning that the meat is ready to eat. So one part, it is the restaurant, and also we have the hostel, so people can live here. And also we have a brewing house. So maybe we can take a look for some special wines and liquors here. So in the past, I realized there's no wine shops here. Maybe in the past, people are quite poor. They cannot afford to get some of the liquor and spirit. So this is very famous corn-based spirit here. And also we make some kiwi fruit-based wine and the red wine. So I realized you put some stone on top of the wine. So what is the reason? And you also put the film. between the stone and the vase. So first of all, we have to make sure that there is a good ventilation condition here in this room. Let's check out what are the liquors and the wines you have. So in the past, maybe you do not decorate this kind of wine, but now you're getting it more delicate, ready to sell. So meaning that we have adopting a more standardized procedure to make the wines and the liquors. Well, I would like to have a taste of this liquor. So what is the proof? I don't want to get drunk. So I would like to have a taste. A little bit, just a little bit. Alright, that's enough. So what is the alcohol percentage? It is around 12%. Well, it is just a little bit above the beer, so I would like to have a taste. It's very sweet. So this is the rice wine, and we also have the red wine and the kiwi fruit wine. So I would say probably it is a kind of like a fruit-based wine. Let's take a closer look at the color of the wine. It is transparent and brown. Is it because of the fermentation? So we are actually using the black glutinous rice, so this is quite different from the other rice wine, because for the other rice wine, it is more white. And also you will see there is a different color for the kiwi fruit wine. But don't worry about the alcohol. It is very smooth, full of fragrance and tasty. If you have the chance to visit Shibadong village in the future, I recommend this. So, thank you so much. And we will continue our tour to get more information about the Shibadong village. So we will follow this new paved road. Today is rainy, but still it's very convenient to pass this area. In the past, all of this area are covered by mud road. And also, you can see we have the freshwater pipeline. So this water is drinkable actually. So when General Xi Jinping visited this area, we have this mineral water. And also we have a Shibadong village mineral water factory. And the mineral water factory can also help us to build up the fortune for the villages. So this is a drinkable water. I will have a taste. Indeed, it's very fresh and sweet. It's quite different from other mineral water, and this water is very clean without any pollution. We just got this water from the mountain. It is quite sweet. When I saw some of the comments from our viewers, some people are asking what is the flavor from the red wine. Well, now we are entering to an area where people are doing the Miao embroidery. So the manager here can give us some introduction about this embroidery. So this is a cooperative in Shibadong village. So it will help our women in this village to start their own business. for some of the women, when they quit their job as the migrant worker, when they return to the village, they have nothing to do. That's why we set up this kind of cooperative. So these people can do some traditional embroidery to earn some income. So these people are returning back to their hometown to develop the traditional industry. Let's take a closer look on this embroidery. I think Miao embroidery is quite different from other varieties of embroidery. So the stitches are very important for the Miao embroidery. So all of the patterns are actually based on the plant, for example, the flowers, the leaves, etc. And there are many procedures to do a proper Miao embroidery. First of all, you have to do a simple sketch. And then for the people who are doing the embroidery, they have to use the stitch to fill the color. So what is it? It is a butterfly. It is not a flower, this is a butterfly, right? So how long it takes? It takes me around 5 days. It is quite energy consuming. So we will use it as a decoration. And also you can put it on your wallet. So it is more of a decoration. And also you can see some of this Miao embroidery in some traditional clothes. So they made all of this embroidery themselves. So basically we just did the flowers on top of these clothes. So any special meaning for these flowers? No. So for Miao minority, we just want to show our feelings with flowers and with different kind of patterns. And so for this one, it's actually embroidered on the pants. So how long it takes to make a complete set? It takes around 10 days if you're a master in embroidery. So what about the business here? So for those who are masters, every month they can earn around 2,000 to 3,000. But in the past, when people doing this, they earn nothing at all. But now they can do this embroidery at the same time. They can also earn a living by this. This is a major change that has been brought by the 18th CPC National Congress. I can see some of a cloth here. So actually all of these clothes are actually made by the villagers. So I can recognize you. You just sing a song in front of us, right? You're very talented. You can sing a song and also you can do the embroidery and you can do the brocade. Can you give us some introduction about the process about the weaving? You can see this is it's more like a scaffolding, and there are 2 pedals on each side. And you will need to put the threads on different areas. Is it complicated to operate this kind of machine? It is complicated if a fresh start. I learned to do this since I was a child. I believe all of the women in Miao village, they know how to do it. Yes, I will do the weaving myself, and I actually will wear the clothes I made of myself. So in the past, maybe people just doing all of this for themselves, but now we have the cooperative. And so that these people can gather together and they can do different kinds of clothes and they can sell these clothes and the embroidery to other people. So I just realized that the income is quite decent. So you can earn 2,000 to 3,000 per month. It's quite good compared to the past. Well, I realized it's a very well-known guest house. So for this guest house, literally it means good wife, and you can earn around like hundreds of thousands RMB per year. In the past, this household is quite impoverished, but now after they opened this guest house, they become the most richest household in the Shibadong village. So for this area, people may be very familiar with that. Well, this is the place when General Secretary Xi Jinping held a meeting with the officials from the village back in November the 3rd, 2013. You can see we have like a landmark here, and many people are here to take a photo and take back the memories. We have very good vision from here. You can see the mountains over there. And also, President Xi used to refer this area as the miniature Zhangjiajie. And today I think it's quite cloudy. It's very difficult to see the mountains far beyond us. But if the weather is good, probably we have a very beautiful scene here. And when General Secretary Xi visited us in this area, we are full of mud road and also full of wheat field. And also we can see our slogan here. We need to implement the spirit from the 18th CPC National Congress. We have to fight with the poverty, and also we have to head towards a well-off society. So at one time we have to live ourselves from the poverty, and also we need to have a better life, meaning that sometimes from time to time we set up the blind dates so that people can find their soulmate, they can start living here. In the past, because this area is quite poor, so many people, it's difficult to find a wife, and people don't want to be married in this village. Currently, we have over like 10 couples married in this region. In the past, people don't want to be married in this village, but now more and more people are more likely to be here. So we have another guest house. And also you can see there was some language lesson for the language for Miao. So like how to say drink in the language in Miao minority group. So in the past, so for people from the Miao minority group, they cannot hardly speak Mandarin. So maybe you can teach us some words. So you just speak in Miao language, and we will want our viewers to guess what is the meaning. I don't understand it. The third word? One more word? I just learned it. Drinking, right? So we will just keep the answer. Later we will tell you what does that mean. In the past, the household is quite shanty, and now we have made some decorations and upgrade, so the household looks more refreshed. And also there is a small pond here. Maybe in summertime it is very beautiful. Probably it will full of lotus flowers. And also we have some like living water here.
好，我们再看，我们走到这个过道底下了，然后我看这个柴，现在码的都非常的整齐。以前这种柴是这样码吗？不是吧？以前不是就乱放的，随便。
So let's go to another area.
现在等于是我们将它整治。
We have arranged the firewood very neatly. In the past, we just put all of this firewood anywhere. It is quite a mess. But now we have arranged this firewood. Well, another change for the Shibadong village. And I realized there must be a lot of activities going on here. And also we have a kiwi fruit orchard here. So it's a large size of the plantation area for the kiwi fruit. It is around 1,000 mu. It is not inside of the Shibadong village. We're actually renting the land from other area and we grow the kiwi fruit. This will also help us to be lifted out of poverty. Now I'm making some pickles. Can I have a taste? Of course. It is quite sour. Indeed. Very crispy. For some of the pickle, if we see outside, it is not that tasty, but this one is very crispy and very fresh. Actually, you can hear the crack sound from my microphone. Thank you for your pickle. I think in the past, the whole system for the village is quite messy. And now we have set up different pipelines, and people can get fresh water and drinkable water very easily. So for each household, they can access to drinkable water, and also we have made some upgrades in the toilet. In the past, if you want to go to the toilet, you have to take an umbrella with you. And for this one, I think they are also making a guest house. Right, because recent days we have so many visitors and people would like to start their own business to run guest house. They want to keep the customers here so people can live in and also they can enjoy the beautiful countryside. So in the past, maybe very few people know about Shibadong village, but now with the new policy and the policy of rural revitalization, more and more people get to know about the Shibadong village. So I think the guest house are not enough right now. So that's why many people are building new guest house here. So when we walk on the newly built paved road, we can feel the modernization and also the tradition of the Miao minority group. In this region, we have only around 28 households. So how many small sub-villages in Shibadong village? We have 8 villages. It is quite distant from each other. So where are we heading right now? We are going to what we call the Zhuzi village. So maybe we will visit this small village and take a new impression. So in the past, we'll use this kind of electric vehicle. So in the past, we just use a motor vehicle and we have only 2 wheels, but now some people can even buy a private car for their own. Well, it is quite impressive. I've never been driven on this kind of vehicle before. In the past, we have a very narrow road. It's very difficult to pass. In this area, it used to be a wheat field. Alright, here we go.
等于是我们也是为了方便游客来停车，在这儿弄了一个停车场。
In the past, it's just a piece of wheat field, but now we have just made a very small parking lot.
我们也带网友感受一下我们这种有特色的坐着三轮来走山路。
Let's feel the speed.
道路现在也宽了。
道路也宽了。原来我们是这条路。
So for the mountain road is not widened.
也是水泥路是吧？水和泥。
So what is the situation in the past?
现在等于是统一。
Again, in the past, it used to be a mud road.
加了个油步道。
Now we have made it a beach road. And also we have like a sidewalk here on the two sides. So sometimes people just can take a hike to enjoy the beautiful scenery in the countryside.
哎，这个机会很难得啊！我来跟我们的吴主任来合个影。
好。
I would like to take a selfie.
还有我们的摄影师。
风景特别好。这个油步道打
Very beautiful scenery here.
直接从这走到那个竹子带了。
Pretty soon we will arrive at the Zhuzi village.
路也开了，然后那个在路
We
灯
have
也有
wider roads and also we have the street lights. In the past, people don't want to get out in the evening because it is very difficult to walk on the road. But now the road is getting wider. Probably we will say this is the road leads to prosperity.
靠背，靠那个马和这种。
So in the past, people would like to ride horses, or you need some people to carry you in order to go up on the mountain. If you want to get out of the village, you have to take around 3 hours walk. In the past, we don't have this kind of beach road. You have to walk in the zigzag road, which takes you 3 hours. It's very difficult to walk on. But now it takes just us a few minutes to get out of the village. It's very convenient right now.
我看对您的改善应该也挺大的。从我前2天见到您第一次，我看您也是一直在笑，开心哈。
And I think it must bring a lot of differences to you as well.
等于是您不是这个村子里，您还是从外村的。
Actually, I'm not from this village. I'm married in this village, and I think the life is much better right now. So that's why I feel very happy every day.
对我们正常人来景感上来说，
我们这个
这边是
才建好的村委会，新
村委会。行，咱们一会儿就提
This
到
is
那
the
个
new village committee that was built.
坐在这个3轮车上来看我们18洞的风景，还是特别有意思。生态停车场。
This is what we call an eco parking lot.
好的，各位央视新闻的网友，您现在正在看到的是改革开放40年看最美乡村变迁的系列移动直播。
So dear viewers, now you are watching the special program to talk about the 40 years of reform and opening up and 40 years of change in a beautiful countryside. Now we arrive at the what we call ecological parking lot for the Shibadong village. I would like to get off the tricycle to have more views of this region. So we have built this eco parking lot on the entrance. So why you talk about this as a ecological parking lot? You can see there are many trees and this is quite green. So that's why we call it ecological parking lot. So it actually reflects the feature of the rural areas. Thank you for the ride. Now we will follow the mountains road to enter into the village. So we have just taken a ride with the tricycle, which is a traditional vehicle, quite impressive. So now we will take a walk here. Pretty much we will enter into the Zhuzi village.
还有这个我们竹子带这个水井啊，以前我们没有通自来水的时候，我们基本上都要到这里来挑。
And I want to talk about the well of the Zhuzi village. In the past, there's no drinkable water accessible in the Shibadong village, so people have to take the drinkable water here. So it is quite distant for them in the past.
现在这边我们还会用这个古井吗？
Are we still using the ancient well?
夏天的时候，有时候我们就到这里来打印。那个夏天的时候，那水特别凉，特别凉。
So in summer, we would like to take water from this ancient well because in summer it is very cool.
那我们上去来看一下，近距离看一下。
So that is the source of the ancient well.
现在这块我们等于是也是修了一个栈道，进行保护了起来。
So we also make this specialized paved road to protect this ancient well. In the past, just a very small and narrow road leading up to the well. It is not easy to walk on. So you can see some of the smoke rising up from the water.
我看我们这块有很多菜，现在我们等于还会在这块洗菜，纯天然的。
And some people are actually washing some vegetables. Actually, in the winter, the temperature of the water is quite warm. It's not cold at all. So this is the source, right? Well, it is quite warm actually for the water. But in summer, the temperature is very cool. So that's why some people would like to come here and take the drinking water. As it is quite cool, so you don't have to cool it down when you bring it back. You can drink it directly. It's very refreshing for summer. And also see a classified recycling bin here. And people would like to take their household garbage here and put it in a designated bin. This is the way how we improve the hygiene condition for the village. And for the road leading up to the village, it used to be a mud road. But now you can see the road gets widened and at least a couple of vehicles or private cars can pass this area. In the past, people don't want to get out of the village because it's very difficult for them. And in the Zhuzi village, many people would like to run guest house here to improve their livelihood. So for example, this one is a new guest house. I think the house here is quite upgraded and renovated. In the Shibadong village, for the households, they are actually in the ancient style, but for this area, all of these households are actually quite modernized. And also, I can see each one of these guest houses, they have a large courtyard. And they also hanging a lot of coins. So for this one, it's named the Lucky Guest House. Probably they feel very lucky because in the past, very few people from the city would like to visit this area. I can feel the streams and the waters are everywhere. the water very clean. So in this area, in the past, all of these are actually mud road. So now we have like setting up some fence like to ensure that the water is clean.
小心啊！哎，行，我们的摄像老师慢点啊。这个的，我们走台阶。我发现这几天来到这儿，整个人的心情也都美了起来。
是吗？
After I came here, I actually feel quite delighted because the air here is quite fresh. And in the past, our impression about the village is very dirty and very messy, but now we can see a complete new look of the village. And, well, we have a school here. So for people who are living in the village, they actually are coming to school here, right? Yes.
叫我们的开门了，好，谢谢你，谢谢我们的小可爱。姐姐，
哎，你上学还有老师要进来哦，好，你下课啦？哦，
这会儿下课了，
太可爱了。
原来我们的小学也在这个地方。
原来小学也在这里。
Do we have the same school here? Yes.
原来没有那么，原来这块。
But not well decorated.
现在这种围墙可能也没有现在那么。
没有。
And also we build up the walls, the fences.
这个校舍也是房屋，教室也是新修缮的。
嗯，对。
And for the classrooms, they are renovated as well.
哎，小朋友。
Very lovely kids here.
你下课啦？
下课了吗，小朋友？下课了，下课了。
今天几号了？
Now they have off their class.
好的。
哎呦，哎，姐姐。哇。
我们这边教室。
老师你好。
在忙。这边教室现在也很新哈。
嗯，对对。
I can feel the classroom is quite new. So in the past, maybe we don't have the desk, the chairs. So what it was look like? We have a very long chair and a long table, so people have to share. And also, I see some of the computers, and also we have the projectors here. It is quite modernized. And also we have a kitchen in the school. Also we have a small library here. So the kids can do their homeworks here and do some readings. I think the infrastructure here is quite well. So here we just offer very preliminary education here. We have 3 teachers here. For some of the teachers, they are just like volunteers. So this is the kitchen. It's quite clean and hygiene. Now they are waiting for lunch. Dear viewers, I actually have a menu here. Well, a lot of food offered here. When I was in primary school, I cannot get as much as this. I think the nutrition is quite good. So I could see the differences here for the education in Shibadong village. You can see when we are doing the targeted poverty alleviation, we are also giving support to the education in the village. Alright, see you next time.
白天也是把这个门关着，也是为了安全，小孩子省得跑。
So we close the door just to make sure that the kids are safe.
这边的房屋就非常新的，但也是老房子进行了改造。
So for the households over there, it is quite new.
所以这一家哦，他以前也在外面打工，但是现在他们都回家。
And for this one in particular, in the past, these people also work as the migrant workers. Now they return to the hometown and renovate their houses. In the past, they did not decorate the house because they all work outside. I think they went back in 2017 and they renovate the houses and they start their own business here. So in the past, these people have to work in large cities like for several years in order to build a new house, but now they can just earn a living here.
这块咱们趁走在路上啊，刚才咱们说跟网友，您说了那个苗语，网友也在猜啊，有的说。
Earlier, you just like teach us some words in Miao language, and people made a lot of interpretation about the words you have just said. So you talk about 3 words. I can only understand the last one, which is drinking. What about the meaning of the first 2 words that you said? The first one is eating. What about the second one?
是谢谢的意思是吗？谢谢是怎么说的？第二个。饥渴。
How do you say thank you?
饥渴，谢谢的意思。
啊，对。
这边的确实我们外地人一般人听不懂，经常会有游客来。
Well, it is a very difficult language.
一些普通话的那种普及嘛，比如说我们讲解员是。
Do we have some like education like for like Mandarin so that the people from this area can speak Mandarin so that they can better communicate with the outsiders? Yes, we do.
哎呀，这个是您家，到您家了。我们来看。
This is my house.
这个牌子，首先这个图案就能看出来，养蜂。
养蜂。
金兰。
So from this big logo, I can tell you guys are raising bees.
不是啊，您叫吴满金，第一个字是您。
第一个，那个龙仙兰是我爱人的最后一个字，2个金兰之和，然后起的人金兰之风。
So actually, I made the name for my bee factory using my name and my husband's name.
从你们2个人的名字里的各取一个字，成立了一个公司。我看您现在养蜂，您介绍一下大概我们的养蜂现在整体。
So can you give us some introduction about the bee raising and the honey business? I believe you are preparing for lunch.
一进门就看到了，我们现在摆了一排的蜂蜜，这是都是您自己养的蜂蜜。
So you can see all of this honey. Yes, actually, this honey are actually from the bees that we raised. Can you share the story about your cooperative? Just a brief introduction will be enough. So, I met my husband from a blind date in 2015, and then we start to own our business as bee raising and honey in 2016. However, with the policy support from the country, and also we get a loan from the cooperative for around like 50,000 RMB, and then we can start our own business. So actually, I was out of poverty in 2016. So I would say actually the bee business actually helped me to live out of the poverty. At the same time, I find a husband because of this business. I think the scale of your business is quite large. We have raised around like 200 cartons of bees. So you are actually the leader for the bee raising here.
我们来这边看一下啊，在做饭的。这个等于是我们直接用那个来做饭，还不是那种灶台。我还真。
So still we're using a traditional way for the cooking.
来近距离看一下。这个，对。啊，您也在看我们的直播是吗？边做饭边看直播。
I believe you actually follow up with our live streaming.
这是我们央视新闻移动网正在给我们的。
So please take a look. We are doing a live coverage right now.
以前肯定就没有吧？以前有网吗？以前没有。
I think in the past there's no internet connection in the village. Yes, in the past we don't have the wireless network. In the past, we do not have any signals for the broadband network. But now you can see the live stream is quite smooth, meaning that the network is well performed. If we have put internet into the village so we can get to know more about the outside world. And for some visitors here, and if they want to buy some honey but they do not want to take the honey with them during their travel, we can actually mail to them. So what you are making right now, I'm actually making the fried preserved pork. Let's take a closer look. You can see the color has turned red after you cook it. So I can't wait to taste one piece of it. So what is this one? It is the fish from Miao minority group. We have to deep fry it first. I would like to have a taste. So for our village, we all like chilies. We like spicy. I think it's a little bit hard for me and it's quite crispy and tasty. Actually, I don't eat a lot of fish. I'm afraid of the bones, but it is quite tasty. For the fish we used to taste is quite tender and soft. This one, even though it is quite hard, but still I feel it's very tasty. So for us, we really like to deep fry the fish first, and then we fry it with chilies. So what about this one? This is a vegetable with tofu. We have to smash the tofu first and mix with the vegetable. This is well served, but we have to heat it up before we eat it. So what is this one? This is what we call the corn pickle. So first we have to smash the corn and mix with the chili. And we marinate it for some time. I think the color is quite red because we have been adding some of the chili inside of the corn. This is a mixture of corn and chili. It is not that spicy. Actually, we use it as a spice to mix with our other dishes. It is quite sour.
这个是我们苗族的一个大的特色啊，因为在外地确实没见过这一道菜。
I think this one is quite special.
炒好就直接可以。
So you're adding this with some other dishes, right?
行行行。
I think it will be quite delicious to add it to the steam bun. Alright, maybe let's move on to other places. Later on, I will join you for lunch.
现在村子里大概就因为您家是带头养蜂的嘛，大概有多少家来养蜂？
So as I have just realized that you are the leader to start the bee business, how many people are doing this right now? We have around like 26 households who are doing the bee business. That's why we have the cooperative. That's why many people are joining us for this business. And we actually set up a company in July this year. So in the past, we are just like doing it as a private business, but now we just want to make it big. That's why we set up the cooperative.
好，我们再往前走。现在等于是我们成立了公司之后，也是把我们的农民养蜂的这个。
So after we set up the company, we're actually pulling everyone together, so we can gather all the honeys and sell it and share dividends from other villages.
我看阿婆在冲地，以前可能我们这个土地就没法冲，
没有
院子就比较脏。
Now I can see this grandma, she's actually washing the floor. In the past, it will be impossible to wash the road because it is mud road.
算是小桥流水的这种声音了。
Well, I can hear the sound of the streams everywhere in the village.
我们下一个地方要去的地方是
Where are we heading?
游步道。那边还有一个我们的农耕的体验区是吗？
对呀。
And also, I realized there is an experience area for the cultivated land. So people can get more knowledge about the farming and the cultivation. So maybe some visitors can try to spread out some seeds here, and for the next time when they visit, they can actually harvest the crop, the vegetables they are growing in the past.
这家就是那个幸福人家，然后他准备在这里开个分店。
这个就是杨超文大哥他家的分店。
So this is another guest house. So it is actually a branch for the happiness guest house. So meaning that for the first one he was operating, she did get some earnings. That's why he would like to open up a branch.
墙上也都手绘了一些这种画，这都是有故事的。
And also see some paintings on the wall. I believe there must be a lot of stories here.
这个是结婚。
I would say this is a photo, a picture about the marriage.
大红花。现在结婚还
You can see the red costumes and the flowers. And for this one, you can this person carry for kids and also leading the cattle. So probably this is the old way for us to travel, for us to move. For example, people have to ride on a cattle, on a horse. And you can see in this area, most of the houses are quite renovated. So for this household, they have very large space. They're also working on to build a new guest house. I can see some of the smoke coming out from the house, from the roof. Probably they're also making the smoked preserved pork. So I think the tiles is quite ventilated so that the smoke can come out from the roof. So we can see all of this area are actually covered by the paved road. We don't have any marked road anymore.
在那个位置哈。对。可能我们这块通过镜头还看不太清。那边有一块黄色的，那就是我们的游步道。游步道。
So we have a very traditional spirit here, so that the wife have to respect her mother-in-law. So this actually also showcases the spirit from Miao minority group. So it is actually a traditional virtue in China. And we have a toilet here. It is quite modernized. We are actually upgrading some of the toilets here. So now people can use water to flush the toilet. In the past, people have to hold an umbrella in order to go to a toilet. It is not hygiene, and it's very difficult to do it. So we have made some renovations here. And for this household, they have earned more income than before. They sell their vegetables and also they run a guest house. Well, the signs are very distinct, so you can see where to go. The wastewater treatment factories and the Lizi village and also the bee factory. So in this area, it is a cultivated land. In this area, it used to be a farmer's cultivated land. So now we have introduced a joint stock system so that the farmers can donate their land, and then we can make all of those lands as cultivated land. If we earn some profit from this cultivated land, we will share the dividends to them. And if the farmers will join us for the management of the land, they can get extra income. This is also thanks to the policy support. Very good vision from this area. In the past, we are just actually stuck in the mountains. If we want to move from one area to the other, it takes a really long time for us to do it. We have very narrow road. It is impossible to pass it through. So let's take a look. For this mud road, this is quite regular in the past. For example, if you have a heavy rain, it is impossible for you to pass it through. Let's see what we have right now. We have the paved road. We have the cement. It is quite different from the previous mud road. It's very comfortable and convenient for us to walk on. And also we have the streams here, and also it is quite clean for the water. So for the fish I just tasted, actually I just got the fish from this wheat field. This is the wastewater treatment plant. If we have some like household wastewater and other kind of wastewater, so for this area they will process these waters and emit them. So all of these areas are managed properly. So for all of this area, these are managed unified by the village committee. In the past, we just released all of this wastewater, and all of the water are polluted. Let's take a round. So this is a sightseeing path. So if you follow this sightseeing path, you can actually lead you to the Zhuzi village. So how long it takes in the past if you have to go to the Lizi village from here? In the past, we don't have all of this paved road. If I'm traveling alone, I dare not walk on this alone. But now with the paved road, it is quite convenient and quite safe for me to pass. And also you can see the fences actually protecting us. So we actually traveled from the Lizi village and to Zhuzi village. And we have seen some of the changes that have been taken place in the Shibadong village. Dear viewers, now you are watching a special program featuring the beautiful countryside with 40 years of reform and opening up. And today we have just witnessed what was in the past for the Shibadong village, and we also see some of the changes that has been taken place for the Shibadong village after the 18th CPC National Congress. Now we have come to the end for the live streaming. Thank you for joining us. If you want to get more information, please download our CCTV app and follow us and stay tuned. We will have more information about the beautiful countryside. And last, we would like to show you a live footage to get a better understanding of the Shibadong village. Thank you.